Joining us on the program now from Athletes in Action, Jono Donalds. Jono, kia ora. Thanks for being on the program.
Good morning.
Hey,
Yeah, great to be here. And as you said, lots of sport going on, isn't there?
super good. I want to start though with just epic, exciting stuff from the Warriors, and a bit of a last gasp effort actually. But Leka Halasima, gosh, he's going to be a guy to watch, right?
Oh, what an incredible game. From the pits of despair to the mountaintop moment.
Yeah.
I thought the Warriors game was summed up by the commentators. If you ever want to hear like a good commentator,
Yeah,
go and watch rugby league. Those Australians are out of control. I'll give you a little replay of last night.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, stupendous moment. And then he just yells out, rugby league.
Oh, that is good. That is very good indeed. And now, hey, not knocking the result. The Warriors are still going strong, still in the top four. That's fantastic. It wasn't looking good until pretty much after full time. You know, it was victory snatched from the jaws of defeat, really, on this one, which is the opposite of some of previous form from the Warriors in some ways from previous seasons.
The Warriors, hey, they're nothing if they're not consistent.
Yeah.
I just had a wee gaze. They've won 12 games this year. 8 of them have been by 6 points or less.
Yeah.
And one of their defeats was that same margin. So when the game is
Wow.
close, they're 8 wins out of 9.
Yeah.
And last night's game, just to give for the listeners that weren't watching, we've got a new half in there, Tanner Boyd, and he had 3 or 4 opportunities to win the game. Drop kicks, long drop kicks, penalties in front. And the poor guy was not having a good night. He missed every opportunity. And then, as you said, Halasima at the end, on full time, 45-meter run, stepping defenders, dragged 3 of them over the line, and just I was jumping around my living room. My kids are trying to sleep. And
Rugby league. Yeah, I mean, very exciting. I suppose there's good news and bad news. Firstly, what happened for the rest of the game, but also, I mean, you've got one player who's having a shocker of a game. You've got another player who, hey, that would have been a loss were it not for this one individual. It was almost not a team sport, you know, that it all depended on that final try in the final seconds. We've talked about this beforehand. You've got to have more depth in your team than that, because if this one guy gets an injury, you're done.
Well, and the Warriors have had their fair share of injuries this year, losing a couple of their key players. I'll tell you, there were a few moments that stood out for me. So you've got Tanner Boyd, who, like I said, he kept missing drop kicks, and he missed this kick from in front. But every time he missed it, they'd sort of zoom in, and James Fisher-Harris, the captain, he's giving him a back rub. He's patting him on the head. He's like, you'll get another chance, or it's all right. And I think that's
good.
That's actually the sign of a good team, is that, hey, you've got a guy who he has played 5 or 6 seasons for the Titans before he came and joined us. But this is only his second game this year.
Yeah.
And he's missing the kicks, and the pressure was too much, or he just couldn't perform under that pressure. But he'll grow from that. He'll come back. Maybe next week he'll kick the game winner for us.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to keep encouraging those young guys, or, you know, that he's as much a part of the team as anyone else at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, it was an ugly win, but it was a win. We'll take that. And, hey, honestly, the same could be said for our series against France. There was nothing pretty in that game, and I'm not just talking about the front row. Yes, 3 wins, 3 tests, but I'm not convinced, Jono.
Yeah, hey, we won.
Yep.
29-19.
Yeah,
and we showed a bit of depth. We've blooded some new players. Literally, the new players are covered in blood.
Wow.
Hey, there was one thing stood out for me in this game. Well, actually, this series is we've been able to have 5 debutants. You know, some new guys that played really well.
Yep.
And some of the highlights would be Fabian Holland from the Highlanders, the Dutch-born lock. He played 80 minutes in all 3 games, and he's looking pretty good.
Yep.
So we've got some injuries, so just shoring up the locking stocks. Deplessis Karifi, he's been rewarded. 28 years old. He's been playing in New Zealand for 5 or 6 years, sort of at that top level, but hasn't quite made it. Turned down opportunities in Japan.
Yep.
And, through a last-minute injury to Luke Jacobson, he got the start. and he didn't look out of place, winning
Mm-hmm.
turnovers and playing really well. After the game, they're actually interviewing Artie, and I wanted to go back and watch this because I really liked his response, which actually reminded me a little bit of that Warriors captaincy. They said, "Hey, what did they say to him? They said, you've got a whole lot of changes with the team this week.
Yeah.
10 new people come in. What does that do to the team?" And Artie just said, "Hey, I wouldn't call them changes, but I'd call them additions."
Okay.
He's talking about these new guys that have joined the team, or maybe guys that haven't had many games, but they're additions to the team. They bring their own strengths.
Yep.
And that, to me, that just showed a little bit of an insight into the captaincy of the All Blacks, and some of the leadership is that if you're in that team, you belong.
Yeah.
And we believe in you, and you'll get your opportunities. So we'll have to see, the fruit of this series, I think, will come through when we play South Africa,
Exactly.
when we play Argentina.
Yeah. Because, I mean, honestly, the French have beat us before, but this wasn't a French A team. That South Africa coming up, that's starting to look a little bit dangerous. Hey, it's all very well to have some new players coming up through the team, but that's not going to count for much against the Springboks.
Wow, yeah, we'll have our top team out there, won't we? And
Yeah.
they'll bring the biggest squad you've ever seen. Those South African guys are just enormous.
Yeah.
And they're coming for our record at Eden Park. So
Yeah.
All to play for.
Exactly. Hey, something that I wanted to focus on, and this is perhaps a question that people may be asking, but this is a question being asked by somebody who is literally at the top of his game. Talking golf world champion at the moment, Scottie Scheffler, asking some broad questions about what is the point of sport. Jono, as you know, I'm not much of a sports fan. That's not what gets me excited. And for some people listening to this or engaging with this content, they might go, "Well, sport's not really my thing. I don't really get the point of it." But to have somebody who is winning millions of dollars and winning tournaments around the world to also be asking some of these big existential questions about sport, that's certainly a surprise to me.
I think a bit of a surprise to everyone. Scottie Scheffler, he just won the Open last night and was streaks ahead of second place, 3 or 4 or 5 shots.
Yeah.
And earlier this week, he sort of raised eyebrows when he suggested that his pursuit of dominance on the course was an unfulfilling life.
Wow.
That only provides fleeting moments of satisfaction. Yes, certainly raises the eyebrows, and you're thinking a guy that's winning millions, he's achieving all of his lifetime's goals, and he's questioning it. It's like, oh, okay.
Gets to the top of the mountain and says, it gets to the top of the mountain and says, "Is this it? There's got to be more to life." I mean, that sounds like a segue to an alpha course, really, doesn't it?
We're running an alpha course at our church. It's asking, hey, what's the purpose?
Yeah.
What's the purpose? Well, sport won't give it to you.
Yeah.
I guess that's the truth. And sport is exciting. I was certainly just almost putting holes in the roof, jumping so high, watching that Warriors game. There's a lot of fun and a lot of joy. And even as a competitor, there's a lot that sport can offer us. But it can't answer those ultimate questions of purpose and meaning and who we are. We can't be defined by just being an athlete, because a lot of us will lose. There'll be ups and downs. But even the guy that's achieving everything, he's still saying, hey, what's the point?
Yeah, exactly. And hey, linking back to the alpha course, actually, and not just about sport, achievement in any particular field. I think there's a quote from the Alpha Course which says that, hey, I wish that everybody could be rich and famous so that they'd realize that actually it's not as satisfying as you think it is. This is true of sport. It's true of all of life. It's true of Solomon in the book of Ecclesiastes saying, hey, you know what? It's all pretty meaningless unless we put the important things in life, unless we have a structure and a purpose and something which gives us meaning at a spiritual level. The rest is just details in some ways, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing I am really encouraged about by Scottie is that he frequently speaks about his Christian faith.
Yeah.
and an emphasis that his identity is rooted in his relationship with Jesus Christ rather than his performance as a golf player.
Wow.
So I'm encouraged by that. A guy that's right at the top of it, he's actually saying, "Hey, this is fun winning for a moment, and I cry. There's tears of success, and he's worked his whole life for this, but it's not what defines him." But you don't see that often printed in the media, though. So it's good to just do a little digging and see, hey, well, what is this guy's purpose?
Yeah. No, very good indeed. And as we were talking about a couple of weeks back, the platform that sometimes sport gives people to be able to make these statements, to be able to ask these questions, to be able to point to their faith as being their centre of purpose. That in itself gives purpose to their sport. God is using the gifts that He has given them to not only for them to be successful, but also communicate the hope that they have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Jono, thank you so much indeed. And hey, very much looking forward to chatting next time. Another exciting game for the Warriors, and hopefully you won't be putting holes in your ceiling. Rugby league, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, if people wanted to find out more about the work that you do, athletesinaction.org.nz. Great to chat, Jono. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, mate. You have a good one.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the Rhema studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.